Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Beyond Standards community. It's your Captain Shanks once again with some more BFME action. And today we will have a video commentary for the first time ever between Mordor against Mordor on the beautiful map Forts of Eisen in Battle for Middle-earth 1 HD edition, patch 1.03. Before losing any time, let's get right into it. And if you enjoy your stay, please don't forget to hit that like button and definitely subscribe for more content like this. As on the left side of the map we have the red Mordor player Matt TG, and his opponent on the right side of the map gonna be the blue Mordor player Jack TG. Both players were actually BFME 1 experts, but unfortunately they are not being active anymore. And yeah, I'm quite excited about this matchup because that's definitely a matchup we don't see quite often. And I've never made a video commentary of a Mordor mirror just yet. It is being played on the map Forts of Eisen. Like mentioned at the start of the video, this is the patch 1.03. 1.03 is basically 1.06, so they did not make any balance changes. Only some bug fixes were made between those patches. So in terms of balance, even though the eye has a wrong description, as you can see, the Eye of Sauron indeed does not give you armor. Like it says in the description, also in patch 1.03, it was only giving 50% increased damage and 100% increased experience. So it's a wrong description there. That's why it got fixed in the patch 1.06. Yeah, Gollum is defending here against the orcs from the blue Mordor player Jack, I think. Yeah, Jack TG. In the meantime, both Mordor players were actually sending both their starting orc battalions forward. And the same thing is happening here. Gollum is being the defender of the lumber mills for both the Mordor players. Let's see how much damage he will be able to deal, as Eye of Sauron will be used. Remember, Gollum is super fast and will be always able to catch peasants, soldiers and orcs, unlike the Uruk-hai. Uruk-hai are being the fastest infantry unit in Battle for Middle-earth 1. Gollum is fighting in here. Orcs are quite weak. You can see they are still getting two-shotted even with the eye. That's a proof that eye does not give armor leadership for the units. The second orc pit is coming up for the red Mordor player Matt TG, and the blue Mordor player is also getting a second orc pit. So it's all about spam early on. Later on it's gonna be super important how to play the mid game. I'm assuming that Mordor should be getting Nazguls as fast as possible, because Mordor is gonna struggle a lot to deal with a flying monster, flying beast. And more than on micro, I think it's gonna matter too much on the decision making, but obviously also on the orc spam. There are a bunch of creeps you can fight for, and the more lumber mills you can control, the more resource generate you will have. And yeah, let's see. So far it's quite even, I gotta say. 2 orc pits against 2 orc pits. Nothing too crazy is happening. Both Mordor players started with the eye. They have the same amount of power points, and the pressure is gonna be more and more. I think at this point it would be a better choice to not send your orcs one by one. Yeah, I can understand that you wanna always keep up the pressure, but my opinion, the 1 orc battalion you're gonna send forward is not gonna be effective, because he will have always orcs to defend himself. And yeah, the red Mordor player has currently 4 orc battalions on the field. He's getting his 3rd orc pit up on the field as well, just like his opponent. So we will have at least 3 orc pits. And that's super important. If you want to play Mordor against Mordor, you need to have at least the same amount of orc pits under your control like your enemy does. What you could also possibly do, in my opinion, is get a Haradrim Palace, creep the works here, guarding the outpost, capture the outpost later on, and put the Haradrims inside. They're gonna be super effective. You can keep the outpost safe. They will be killing those orcs with a 1 shot. And the red Mordor player Jack, or this is not Jack, right? Wait a second. It is Matt. Matt TG is going for the creep at the top left side of the map. In the meantime, 1 orc battalion from the blue Mordor player Jack was able to sneak through, taking down the lumber mill workers. That's really important. He's preparing for the creep with a lot of orcs. You need 3 battalions to easily creep that. The way you want to creep the orcs is use one of those orc battalions to lure the orcs away, and use the other 2 battalions to just focus on the warglider. This is the fastest way. Yes, unfortunately you won't be able to capture the settlement afterwards, because you won't be able to take down the warglider and the orcs with only 3 orcs, but you can still get the treasure plus the experience plus the power points from the creep. If you use more than 4, you should also be able to take down those orcs, which is really nice. Then afterwards you will be able to capture this lumber mill for yourself. Talking about lumber mills, the red Mordor player will be able to capture his 3rd one, just like the blue Mordor player, who's about to kill those orcs on the right side of the river. He has 5 orc pits. Look at the base. That's something we don't see quite often. We should be taking a picture from that. That's actually amazing. I like it. The red Mordor player has also 5 orc pits on the field, getting furnaces. So I'm assuming that both Mordor players will be trying to get a Nazgul on the field, which makes a lot of sense. Trolls are quite expensive, especially when you don't have 6 slaughterhouses in your base. They're gonna cost more than 1000 each. And the troll cage costs also about 1000 resources, depends on how many lumber mills you have under your control. And yeah, you know, until you have 2-3 trolls on the field, the enemy will have always enough resources for the Nazgul, and Nazgul against Mordor is gonna be super effective. We'll be taking down those trolls one by one. Besides that, there is a lot of action in the minimap. It's really hard to follow all of those orcs. And the red Mordor player is getting the creep on the left side of the river. We have still the buff orcs on the bottom side, as the blue Mordor player is taking the last creep on the top side of the map for Eisen. Okay, creep secured. The treasure was also secured from the red Mordor player, who will be able to fill up his base. There are no towers. If he can actually get in maybe with 5-6 orcs, he can deal incredible amount of damage. The blue Mordor player on the other side has full base already for himself. No outpost control right now. They are fighting more or less for the map control for the lumber mills. But those 2 starting lumber mills from both the Mordor players were untouched all game long. They are all about to hit rank 2 pretty soon. Blue Mordor can now also capture this outpost for himself. I think that's the plan. Afterwards you can make another orc pit at the left side of the outpost to pressure the left side to your opponent pretty much constantly. This creep will be secured by the blue Mordor, and with that being said, all the wargliers in the map Forts of Eisen are gone. And we're gonna take a look into the power points, because industry is gonna be super impactful. Matt TG, this is the red Mordor player on the left side, has just collected 2 power points. He will be immediately picking industry, will be using it inside his furnaces. You can also use it while they are building up. That's gonna affect them. As soon as they're up, they will have the effect of the industry, but I'm assuming you wanna wait until they come up. He has almost full command points, only with orcs. Obviously Tainted Land, Eye of Sauron and industry. On the other side, exactly the same amount of power points for the blue Mordor player Jack. And the game is looking quite even, at least for now. Now, I'm joking, there is still a creep on the bottom left side, I forgot about that. So 1 warglider is still being on the field. No outpost control. I would go for the outpost by myself, just to get a bit more resources. Maybe to make 2 more orc pits. The more orc pits you have under your control, the more pressure you will be able to deal on your opponent. And he will be more or less busy defending himself, rather than, you know, sending units to your side of the map. Yeah, a lot of harassment is happening, but I'm assuming could be a great power point to go for is also Scavenger, because you pretty much kill constantly enemy orcs. You fight with almost full command points all game long, and as Scavenger gives you resources for each enemy kill, can be super rewarding to have this power point for yourself. On the other side, Industry into Darkness makes much more sense to have this incredible amount of leadership going on for your orcs. And I mean, you know, orcs are pretty much your only force in the early to mid game until your Nazgul gonna be on the field. Talking about the Nazgul, Matt, the left Mordor player with the color of red, has almost 4000 resources collected. On the other side, with a slightly lead for the blue Mordor player Jack, he will have his Nazgul on the field a bit sooner than his opponent, but it's nothing too crazy. Yeah, it looks also that he's winning the map control fights. The secret of winning that is just to, you know, group with a larger amount of units instead of sending them one by one, and make sure to outnumber your enemy orcs, and then you will be able to rank up faster on your orcs. They will hit rank 2, rank 3, rank 4 pretty soon with the eye being active. Then you can win the fights. You have now higher ranked orcs, which gonna make you to win the next fight even easier, and so you can actually push your enemy back. We're gonna have a Nazgul on the field for the blue Mordor, pretty much at the very same time for the red Mordor player on the left side. So for now it looks quite even. We're gonna take a look what's gonna be the next decision of the players. Will it be a Witch King, another Nazgul, or maybe switch to Trolls, get the Drama Troll on the field and start making combos. And yeah, you're definitely gonna need combos in this matchup, because there is no other way to deal with the enemy Nazguls, and only combos won't be effective, so you wanna have definitely leadership going on for your combos. At least Darkness plus Eye is gonna be needed to be a threat to the enemy Nazgul. Otherwise, the Orc combos are quite weak and they will be taken down super easily. And yeah, Nazgul is on the field for the blue Mordor a bit earlier than for the red Mordor. Yeah, with the Nazgul they will be fighting exclusively for more map control. It looks great now for the blue Mordor player. He has a bit more resource income than his opponent. I'm assuming he's gonna save for the Witch King now. And we're gonna have a darkness going on for Mets, for the red Mordor player on the left side. And the blue Mordor player is half a power point away. That means with the darkness being on now, the red orc's gonna be much stronger and they will be able to push back. Remember, darkness gives you 50% increased armor and 33% increased damage output on every single unit of yours, which were recruited before the darkness got used. So if you use darkness and right after you get orcs on the field, these units coming out of the orc pits after the darkness was used, they won't be affected from the darkness anymore, so they don't receive any kind of leadership. But every unit which was created beforehand, they will have always, for the entire map, the buff going on for 3 minutes. That's actually dope. That's the best ability. That's almost as effective as War Chant, which is pretty much active for 3 minutes and is affecting every single unit, right? It affects Muma kills, trolls, unlike War Chant, even horses, you know. I mean, it's something like War Chant, but also for the monsters and for the entire map. So Mordor in BFME 1, as you know, is being known for the most badass leaderships in the world. By the way, if you are looking for more BFME content, you should be definitely checking out my Twitch channel as well, twitch.tv/BeyondStandards. The link is gonna be in the description below. Would really appreciate to see you there. And yeah, the outpost was captured by the red Mordor player, as you can see, but it's gonna be taken down by the Nazgul. Talking about the Nazgul, we're gonna have Witch King soon on the field, I'm assuming. Jack, the blue Mordor player, has almost collected 4,000, even a bit more, saving for the Witch King. And on the other side, I'm asking myself why he's so behind in terms of resources. I think he was over investing money and resources for the outpost, because in compared to his opponent, he's over 2,000 resources behind. That's actually a big advantage for the blue Mordor, who is still winning the map control fights. The amount of power points they are gaining only from killing orcs and from losing orcs. Remember, as Mordor or as Isengard, you will also get power points from losing your own units. So talking about 5 orc pits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 orc pits, and you constantly fighting with the enemy orcs. You keep losing units, you keep killing units. We're gonna have Balrog soon on the field, ladies and gentlemen. Alright. Yeah, in the meantime, that's what I'm talking about. Pressure is always the best defense. So the more pressure you are able to deal, the more defensive your enemy has to play. And now your mills, they're gonna be untouched. And the second they hit rank 3, it's gonna be much harder for the orcs to take it down. Because remember, rank 3 mills are able to shoot at enemy units. So one orc won't be a threat anymore to your lumber mill once it is rank 3. This one is recently got destroyed, it's only rank 1. This outpost will be taken down by the enemy Nazgul from the blue Mordor player. He's getting his second Nazgul on the field first. And yeah, he's gonna go for the flying beasts, including the Witch King later on, which makes a lot of sense. Because when it comes to kill 3 Nazgûls at the very same time, Mordor will struggle and suffer big time. He needs to get at least 4 or 5 combos on the field with full upgrades, and with a Witch King leadership, with a Drama leadership, or with a Darkness at least. A Darkness Witch King is gonna be needed because on the eye they're gonna get one-shotted from the Nazgûls. So you need to have at least Witch King around to burst the Nazgûls down. From the blue Mordor player, he has now 2 of them on the field. Or he will have, yes, 2 on the field, and he will be saving now for the Witch King. And the red Mordor player is going for upgrades, I'm assuming. I hope not, because that would be a big mistake. I'm guessing he's saving also for the Nazgûl. Yes, he does. He has almost 5,000 resources collected. What you could also possibly do here in this matchup is go for Scavenger, like mentioned before, or possibly for the Devastation. Remember, Devastation is super rewarding. The second you use it, you can get actually insta resources up to 2,000. That is massive. And you know, 2,000 resources getting instantly and having that ability over your opponent gonna give you always the resource advantage you're gonna need. Especially having now less map control than your own enemy does. Will make you pretty much even, and you will have your second Nazgûl on the field already, and you will maybe even get your Witch King on the field sooner than your enemy does. And you need to fight for the map control instead of for the Balrog. Balrog is gonna be, of course, important in terms of power points. They are, by the way, still quite even. But I wouldn't bet on Balrog, because Balrog is gonna not be able to take down the enemy base by himself. And yeah, if you have 3 Nazgûls under your control, and even if the enemy summons Balrog, you can still kill the orcs, you can still kill the enemy Nazgûls, and you can still keep your base protected. But yeah, let's see. We have a Nazgûl on the field now from the red Mordor player. Over a minute later than the blue Mordor player. And blue Mordor player has almost 5,000 resources collected already, so he will have his Witch King sooner, much sooner on the field. Which makes everything a bit faster for the blue Mordor player. After getting Witch King on the field, he will also have the time advantage for the upgraded combos, including Fire Arrow upgrade and Banner Carrier. Banner Carrier, by the way, is a must-have against Mordor with 2 Nazgûls on the field, because the Screech ability gonna screw your entire combos up. The way to get resistant against that is to get your units level 2. Otherwise, they will be afraid. You know, they will be scared. They get terror and fear, and they will be forced to run away. And the second the effect is gone, you can use the second Nazgûl Screech ability and keep your enemy units permanently under crowd control. The more you can keep them under crowd control, the more they will become useless, because they won't be able to attack your units at all. Yeah, right now we have a lot of orcs. The Nazgûls are also on the field. The blue Mordor's outpost is getting attacked from the red Mordor player, Matt. Jack is still looking a bit stronger, especially in terms of resources. Industry was used on this rank 3 furnaces. Reason why they are getting furnaces instead of slaughterhouses. In Battle for Middle-earth 1, the furnaces are much tankier than slaughterhouses. While a furnace level 3 has 6,500 health, a slaughterhouse has like 3,000. So taking down a furnace is much harder for every single unit, including the Nazgûls, than taking down the slaughterhouses. And yeah, let's see what's gonna happen. He's gonna get his Witch King much sooner on the field. He has almost 7,500 resources collected already, while the red Mordor player has nearly 1,000. He's so behind actually in terms of resources, that's incredible. But in terms of power points, they are still quite even. I mean, it's like looking in the mirror, look at that. It's completely even. So the Balrog will be there in about 8 power points. Let's see. It's gonna matter so much on how to use the Balrog. How to kill the Mordor base. If you will be able to kill the Mordor base, that's gonna be the first question. I mean, if you micro super nicely, yes, you will be able to take down the enemy base with a Balrog by himself. And even if you almost kill it, remember you have 3 Nazgûls that can actually finish the base from your opponent, right? So with that being said, Balrog plus 3 Nazgûls should be easily able to take down the enemy main base, in this case all of those structures. And yeah, the Witch King from Angmar will be joining the battlefield for the blue Mordor player Jack, while the red Mordor player is still super behind, has almost only 2,000 resources, so he's still over 6,000 resources away from getting his Witch King on the field to make it equal. He's gonna lose the outpost, the red Mordor player, losing also map control at the mid side. We have still many orcs joining the battlefield. Exact the same amount of power points for both the players. 6 power points away exactly right now from the Balrog special summon. Eye of Sauron was used. Darkness is gonna be ready soon for the players as well. And yeah, just look at that. That's what I'm talking about. The Lumber Mill is level 3. It's a bit tankier now. It's able to shoot as well. I mean, it's not gonna do too much against a Nazgul, but against spam units, weak units like orcs, level 3 Lumber Mill can actually be super hard to deal with. Outpost captured now by the Blue Mordor player. How much resources he has now? Only 3000. So he has the Witch King advantage. That's gonna give him the advantage to get the upgrades much sooner, like mentioned before. But why no one is purchasing the Banner Carry upgrade and the Fire Arrow upgrade? That's being the main question. I think he has the resources he needs, right? Or? No, he doesn't have it. I think he was just investing money also at the outposts here. I mean, let's be honest, the resource income for the Mordor players is not like looking that great, because they are using 5 out of 8 spots in their main base to make more orcs. So the resource income from the in-base is actually super shabby, unlike the resource income from the lumber mills. So the less relevant the in-base resource income becomes, the more important the outside, the lumber mill control is gonna be. And that's why it's super important to fight for the map control. You know what I like to say, map control is and always gonna be everything in Battle for Middle-earth 1, but also in every single other RTS game in the world. Yeah, he's gonna save for the Witch King. He has almost 5000 resources, but the problem is that they are super close for the Balrog special summon, only 2 power points away. When I first downloaded this game, I was expecting something like this, I'm not gonna lie. I was expecting a disaster with a lot of orcs. I hope you enjoyed this. Please, if you do, don't forget to hit that like button and definitely subscribe for more content like this. Right. Let's see what's gonna happen, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have Balrog probably a bit sooner before the Witch King comes out. That could be a game-changing moment. If you can take down the Citadel before the Balrog before the Witch King spawns. And yeah, with the Witch King advantage, you can see the Blue Mordor is able to strike back and fight for the map control, successfully being able to take down those lumber mills and pushing to the left side of the map. And there are so many orcs also doing nothing. If you have 5 orc pits like this, Call the Horde could be a super nice ability. Remember, Call the Horde is incredibly increasing the amount of orc speeds. I don't know how to pronounce that actually. You are recruiting orcs and it has a recruits time, right? And once you hit that Call the Horde ability, they will be pretty much coming on the field in 2 seconds. Ooh, the Balrog special summon. Let's see how much damage he will be able to deal. He's flying inside. This is the Balrog from the red Mordor player, but the blue Mordor player is gonna do the same. And yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. The Witch King won't be even able to join the battlefield. He has no towers actually. If he can kill this, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. Now he can actually send his Nazguls and finish the base. There are no towers, unlike for the red Mordor player. But the Breath Fire is gonna be super important. Take down the Citadel with 2 shots, unlike the red Mordor who was just walking by with the Ignite, which is dealing damage over time. He is sending his Nazguls inside. They are about to take down the main base from the blue Mordor player. Breath Fire ability will be used, and that's exactly the same thing what the blue Mordor player is doing. But he needs to now send his Nazguls back before he's gonna lose the base. Balrog's time is gonna be up soon, but he will get his shot and his chance to use another Breath Fire ability before this is gonna happen. This Balrog is taking down the enemy base as well. The towers are being focused on the Nazgul. Ignite ability will be used once again to increase the damage and armor of this Balrog by 50% armor and 200% increased damage, which is taking down those structures one by one. Nazguls are being attacked. Will he be able to finish? That's gonna be the question. He won't be able to finish the whip, but it's not gonna matter because the base is gonna fall down. There are only two towers at 1%. All the Nazguls gotta do is just kill it. But in the meantime, this Balrog was not able to deal too much damage, and the Nazgul won't be able to finish because there are still so many towers. And Jack TG, ladies and gentlemen, has been defeated. He didn't have an outpost control, he was super ahead, he had the Witch King on the field, he had all three Nazguls, but the misplay from the Balrog special summon and the decision making of not sending the Nazguls back to your own base in time to keep it safe against the Nazguls, and to not invest the 150 shabby resources to get enough towers to scare the enemy Nazguls away, cost him the game. I could swear that he would be winning this game because he was so ahead in terms of power points and he was having a greater amount of map control than his opponent. But the power points were exactly the same. It was like looking in the mirror. They had this exact same power points. That was actually crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my godness. I hope you enjoyed this one. And we're gonna definitely get some more BFME 1 casting in the future, as we are not streaming that live anymore. So on my Twitch channel you can expect to see BFME 1, BFME 2 and Rise of the Witch King, obviously. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great week. We're gonna stream this Friday, by the way, starting at 8 PM GMT +2 on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/BeyondStandards. Like mentioned before, Twitch link is gonna be in the description below. And until then, take care of yourself, have a nice one, and as always, stay beyond standards. Peace, guys.